Good morning, my math students. Today we are going to be reviewing polygons in the coordinate plane. However, what we're going to be doing is finding the area and perimeter of figures that are composite figures in the coordinate plane, which we have not done yet. Before we start the lesson, what I would like to do is take the time to review the last worksheet you worked on for homework. So here are the answers for the last worksheet. So what I'd like you to do is pause the video, find this worksheet, which I assigned last week. The title is Polygons on the Coordinate Plane and Lesson 5 Practice. And I'd like you to come back, hit pause, come back and hit play, and then you'll see the answers. Okay, so the answer to number 1, this was a triangle, and the formula for the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So I plugged those numbers into the formula, and I got 6 units squared, because the base was 4 and the height was 3. 2 was a trapezoid. The bases was 7 and 4, and the height was 3. Here is the formula. So when I plugged in those numbers, I ended up getting 16.5 units squared. Please feel free to pause the video at any time to go back and look at a problem again, or carefully look at my work shown, whatever you need to understand what I did. Okay, if we go to number 3, this is a rectangle. You were asked to find the perimeter, so you had to add up all the sides. 7 plus 7 plus 3 plus 3 is 20 units. 4 is another rectangle. I added up to find the perimeter. I added up 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5, and I got 18 units. Always read the directions, because the directions in 3 and 4 said to find the perimeter, whereas in 1 and 2 it said to find the area. Okay, moving along, number 5, it asked you to find the perimeter, so I graphed it. I plotted these points that it gave me. I graphed it, and I got 14 units. If you went up here, the last sentence said if each unit represents 1 mile, find the perimeter in miles. So 14 units would translate to 14 miles. Please turn the page. Okay. Number 1, the perimeter was 10 units. Number 2, the perimeter was 22 units. Please look at my work. Number 3 was a parallelogram, base times height. The answer was 25 units squared. Number 4 is actually a composite figure, which is what we're going to do today. So a composite figure is a figure made up of 2 or more different polygons. So if you notice, I drew a line here, and I separated this composite figure into 2 separate, actually this is square and this is a rectangle. I found the area of each one and I added them together. And we're going to explore that more in today's lesson. Number 5 is a triangle. The answer was 12 units squared. And number 6 is a trapezoid. And I plugged my numbers into the formula, and I got 27.5 units squared for number 6. Okay? So feel free to, hit pause, go back to the video, review whatever you need to. All right, so before we start the lesson, you need to make sure you print out the graph paper that I attached on the Google Classroom assignment. If you do not have graph paper, what I'd like you to do is on loose leaf paper, draw a graph and follow along as best you can. Okay, just to review, area is the amount of space inside a shape. It is usually measured in squares. So I'm going to remove these for a minute to demonstrate again what I did. So in order to find area, you want to see how many of these squares you can fit inside of this rectangle. So I can fit 4 down, and then if I went across, I could do 7 across. 4 times 7 would be 28 square units. Okay, and that's why we multiply the length times the width, because we want to find the number of squares that will go inside of this figure. Perimeter is the distance around it. So picture this person walking all around. Picture this a block, and this person walking all around the block, and you want to find the distance all around it. So you would add 7 plus 4 plus 7 plus 4, and it would be that would be the answer you would get for perimeter in units. Okay, So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about composite figures. What is a composite figure? A composite figure is a figure that is made up of two or more two-dimensional figures, usually squares and rectangles. So what I'd like you to do is look at this. This is a composite figure, and I'm going to move this for a second just for you to see. This is what it originally looked like. And I took this line and I put it here to separate it into two different figures. This figure right here, this big one, is a square, and this smaller one is a rectangle. On the next slide, I'm going to show you how I found the perimeter and area of this composite figure. So I counted all the way across, okay, and all the way across, this is 9 units across. So this green line plus this blue line is 9 units across. This is 2 units going down. This is 3 units across. This is 4 units going down, 6 units across, and 6 units going up. So the perimeter is this person, remember, walking all around this figure. So you would want to add up 9 plus 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2, and you would get an answer of 30 units. For the area, you need to find the area of each figure and add them together. So the green square has an area of 36 because I multiplied 6 units down, 6 units across. Okay, remember this 9 represents this whole line right here. I use that 9 for perimeter, not for area. So this green square has an area of 36, and this blue rectangle has an area of 6 because 3 times 2 is 6. I have to add those areas together, so 36 plus the 6, because I'm trying to find the area of this entire figure. And I get 42 square units when I do that. So that's a model problem that I just wanted to show you. You're going to start doing some on your own. So here's what you're going to do. Go to the first piece of graph, the first graph box that you have on your paper, and I would like you to plot and connect these in order. So here's what I mean. You're going to plot A, B, C, D, E, and F, and then you're going to connect A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F, and then F back to A. When you're done, I want you to find the area and the perimeter just like we just did in the last problem. Please hit pause and do that. Okay, so here is the answer. First of all, I graphed all the points and I labeled them. Remember, when you graph, like to graph A, 4, 3, I start at the origin, I go right 4, up 3. To graph B, I go left 4 for negative 4 and up 3. To graph C, I went left 4 and down 4 and so on. So I separated my figure as such. I drew this line across. You didn't have to do it that way. You could have separated it going down this way also. I found the area of my bottom rectangle, which was 5. I found the area of my top rectangle, which was 8 times 6, which is 48, this green one. And when I add together 48 plus 5, I get 53 square units. For the area, what's inside? The perimeter is the distance all around, so it was 8 plus 6 plus this 1 plus 5 plus this 1 plus 3 plus 6. And that perimeter came out to be 30 units. I'd like you to go to the next piece of graph paper. I'd like you to plot these points, connect them in order, and find the area and perimeter of this next figure. Please hit pause. Okay, so I graphed my figure. This is what it looked like. You didn't have to separate it the same way I did. I separated into 3 separate rectangles as such. I drew a line going this way and going this way. So this area of this rectangle was 9 times 2, which is 18. And you could either count the lines that there were 9 units across, or I saw that it went from a negative 4 to a positive 5. So this line right here is 9 units. Okay, so 9 times 2 is 18. This one right here, this rectangle, should be 4 going, the width is 4, and going across is 6 right here. So 6 times 4 is 24. That's how I got that 24. For this 12, I got 3 times 4 is 12. And when I added up 18 plus 24 plus 12, my area came out to be 54 square units. For my perimeter, I found the distance all around this. 9 plus 2 plus 3 plus this 4 plus this 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 10. When I add that together, I get 38 units. Okay, let's keep practicing. If you look at this, I'd like you to go to the next graph on your paper. I'd like you to graph these points, connect them, and find and write the perimeter and the area of the composite figure. Please hit pause. Okay, so what I did on this one was I graphed all the points. I connected them. First, I'll talk about the area. I separated my figure as such. I drew a line going this way. So what I did was I found the area of this pink rectangle, which is 7 times 4, which is 28. So there's 28 square units inside of this rectangle right here. The green rectangle, I did 5 times 3 is 15. And when I add together 28 plus 15, I get 43 square units for my area. Perimeter is the distance all around it. So there's 9 units across here, plus 3 units down, plus 5 units across, plus 4 down, another 4 across, and 7 going up. And when I add all those outside numbers together, that gives me 32 units. Please feel free to hit pause or rewind if you need to go back and look at anything else I've done. If you have questions about anything, make sure you study this carefully. And of course, as always, email me if you have any questions. I want to take the time right now to look at tonight's homework. So this is what tonight's homework looks like. So what you're going to do is on the graph that I gave you on the worksheet, you're going to plot and label the points on the graph paper, and you're going to connect them in the order they are given. So basically you're going to connect, it says right here, A to B, B to C, and so on. And you always connect the last point, H, to the first point, A. After you connect that, you're going to find the perimeter. So like I did on these previous examples, you're going to find the distance all around the figure, okay? And you have to be very careful when you find the perimeter. I'm actually going to go back to my problem before to show you. When you find the perimeter, you want to include all around. So this piece and this piece, any piece all around you want to find. And then also you're going to focus on separating the figure. So that's to find perimeter. You're going to find the distance all around it and add it together, and you're going to label it as units. And when you find the area, you're going to have to separate it into different either rectangles or squares. Find the area of them individually and add them together. And you're going to label that as units squared. So you can feel free to email me if you have any questions, okay? But make sure you're careful when you do your work. You're definitely going to use a calculator. Be careful in graphing. I do notice that a lot of you are graphing incorrectly, and if you do that, the whole problem will be wrong. Keep in mind when you graph a number with a 0, 4, 0 would be right 4, and you stay there. Okay, if I asked you to graph 0, 4, you would start at 0 at the origin and go up to 4. So the first number, remember, right or left, and the second number is up or down. Please, again, feel free to email me if you have any questions at all. And we will be working on this lesson for most of this week. So good luck. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you all have a great day. I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy, and I miss you all very much. See you on the next video.